Alright guys, welcome back to another Down and Dirty. We're going to talk about this steel wrist a little bit, talk about the manipulation that we can do. Obviously she pivots back and forth, she'll spin 360 degrees. We're working with the grapple claw today. And then on the back, we got these little pinchers right here. So we're going to take a couple of these trees down right here. We're going to actually work our way behind it. Back behind us, we got a house and some pickup trucks right now. So we're going to work the trees into the opening. So what I'm going to try to do right here is obviously we'll give you a bird's eye view of what's going on. We're working everything into what I call as a hole. It's where we started taking down trees. We got the tree brush ready, lined up for the mulcher. We're already starting to log it out. Well, these trees are 60 to 80 feet tall, so there ain't that much room in the job site constantly to just throw them every which way. So once you start getting an opening, we start kind of just crashing the trees into that hole to manipulate where we want them to go. So it's really handy to have a steel wrist on an excavator like that. We're going to position ourselves on this. So what we got going on with this tree right here, it's a double cherry tree. We're going to actually just cut it down at the stump. I'm going to move this debris out of the way for my guy Ryan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly just position myself up onto this tree right here. Now if you realize if we just go ahead and push it straight right there, we're going to kind of crash it into the trees over there. We want to swing it a little bit more to the right, but I can't really get that funky angle perfect where I want. I mean, it's kind of on there, but it's not. So what's cool about this steel wrist is we're going to rotate it back to the right where I can really get an angle up on it. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look how much you can manipulate. We could squeeze these double trees for him to cut, or we could leave them loose. If I wanted to go back to the other way, towards the left, I could, look at that, just rotate on those trees. And now I can really dictate if those trees are going to go to the left, to the right. I'm not really worried about the weight, just because there's not much up there on the top on these little guys. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to rotate back this way, and then I'm going to signal Ryan to come over and cut the bottom of the stump. Go ahead and cut the bottom of that stump there, Ryan. Start on the back side, and then come to the front side towards me. So we're just going to hang on to it just enough, keep a little bit of pressure after he gets to the back cut. That way we don't pinch his saw. And we're going to just let the tree hold, and we're going to slowly just push it out to the opening. I'm going to tighten up on my grapple just a little bit. So we're going to signal him to go ahead and walk away. So now we got just enough hinge wood holding that tree right there that this thing isn't really going to go nowhere. So with the machine, you can leave a couple inch hinge wood, excuse me, on some of these trees to actually control and hold. So it's really not going to go nowhere. If you take the pressure off, it's still stand a little bit. It'll want to wobble. There's no fast movements, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slowly just ease back into it. Now I can rotate this back towards center once I get it where I want, and shove it straight over. So you look at the hinge wood, we had about a 2-inch hinge still holding down here at the bottom. We got about a 80-foot tree that has successfully landed into what I call a hole on the job. And we're going to get back into our little bit of our logging operation, knocking the logs off and the brush off, sorting the logs back out, putting the brush in a one-directional pile. This steel wrist really gives us stuff to be able to manipulate in tight spots. So I could work like a 30 to 40 degree radius here without really even moving the machine, not tripping over a bunch of stumps. I got the counterweight out of the trees or the brush right now. So I could really work in 30, 40 degree angles here. I could really do a lot of damage by being able to use that steel wrist on the rotating of the manipulation of these trees. I mean, this thing is just phenomenal. If you look at just what it can do. I mean, it's to the point. I lost Brian's camera. I lost that other camera. See if we can find it.
It's up there.
Where's it at?
Up front.
Oh.
Put it on the part that don't rotate.
Woo, thank God. Brian, I about scared the shit out of us. There's a blooper for you guys. So if you guys look at what this thing is capable of doing, just look at the play on this thing. The versatility, left, rocking this thing left to right. Right to left. I mean, you could really manipulate boulders, trees, anything you want to put in the grapple, I would say. Safety and effectiveness comes into play with this thing. Well, that's all I got for today's Down and Dirty, guys. I hope you enjoyed how to take a tree down, especially using the steel wrist. That being said, we'll get at you guys soon.